From downtown Scranton, this is Northeast Current. WQPX invites you to join us as we explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current. Hi, and welcome to another edition of Northeast Current. I'm your host today, Tony Schwartz, and I'm pretty excited today because this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to sit down with a filmmaker. And that's exactly what I have here today. I'd like to introduce to you Kevin Davis. Welcome
Hi.
To the show, Kevin.
Nice
And you're working right now on your first independent film, is that correct?
That is correct.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the film? How did you get the idea for this film? You're not only producing a film or directing a film, you wrote the script yourself, right?
Yes, I did actually. I wrote the script. I actually wrote it earlier this year. I was unemployed, and I was looking for work, obviously, at the time, but I was collecting, so I was making a little income, and I thought, well, let me do something with my spare time. Something I've always thought about doing when I was younger, but just never really had a lot of confidence in my writing abilities. But I had the time, so I started writing, and it was to be a cheesy horror flick originally.
Okay.
That was the thing. I thought that'd be the easiest route to go, was just to write a cheesy horror flick and just put it together and possibly produce it. But it started evolving into this cheesy horror flick, into The Man in the Box, where it is now. Much more complex.
That's the title, right? Let's not forget. Let's mention that title, The Man in the Box?
Yes, The Man in the Box.
Okay.
It just started evolving into this more complex character that I started evolving with Christianity and then some real problems of his childhood. A lot of it was just different ideas that I started coming together, and then one idea led to the other idea, and then the next, and so on, until we had a finished script. And I started showing people, and to be quite honest with you, I really wasn't expecting any kind of enthusiastic response. I was just hoping that people would just, like, yeah, it's decent, it's not bad for a first time. But what really encouraged me was that people were really excited about the script. And then that kind of made me feel like maybe I could go ahead and produce this myself and put it out there, and that's what I did.
Okay, so stop dangling the carrot in front of us. Tell us just a little bit. I mean, what's the basic storyline here?
Well, it starts off with our main character, Lloyd. He's
Is he the man in the box?
He's the man in the box, essentially. And he's a 12-year-old kid. He has abusive parents. And I won't get into the details of their abuse, but they're abusive to him. And he endures this. Well, when they turn that abuse onto his sister, he decides to act to save her. So in that sense, he goes and kills them, but he also kills his sister in the process.
Ooh.
Yeah. He kills his sister unintentionally, and then he's placed into a mental institution, and where he resides for the next 20 years. He's released. He goes to live with his cousin, and his cousin is quite a character. He's played by a wonderful actor named Michael Galante. His cousin's name is Ryan, and he's kind of mixed up in his own little troubles. He's got his own little drama going on, and Lloyd innocently gets involved with his situations, if you will. And being a Christian that Lloyd is, he's got choices to make, tough choices, and he uses the Bible as his guide, if you will. And that's where things kind of get blurry, because he's out in the world now where things are a lot different than they were when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Much more violence, and he's got a lot of decisions to make, and we're not so sure if they're the right or wrong decisions based on your interpretation of your own, like of the Bible yourself. And that's pretty much the gist of the story. There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie here. And there's a serial killer in there. There's there's like a mob guy in there. There's drug use. There's little, how should I say, I guess I could just say some sex involved in it, violence in there for sure. But there's some nice tender moments in there as well. He means well. So, like I said, he's got to make some choices. And that's what we watch to see which way he goes with it. Because I think most people will be on one side or the other. Some people will say, well, you know, that's what I would do. Is that what happened? Or, you know, maybe that person deserves it. Or, you know, maybe I would do this. So it's like, well, which way is he going to go?
So it's not a cut and dry, you know, people can interpret it differently for themselves.
Yeah, I think so. And I think some people can relate, because some of the people you'll see, the characters in this film, you probably have seen people like that out in everyday society. And I think subconsciously we have ideas like what we would like to do with some of these people. And this is what Lloyd encounters at times when he's out there.
So now you're a local Scrantonian?
Yes.
Did you shoot a lot of the movie right here in the Scranton area?
I did. I shot in the Scranton area, the Wilkes-Barre area, Kingston as well, Pittston. I'm not sure where
Any
else.
familiar landmarks that we would recognize when we see the movie?
Well, let me see here if I could recall some of the locations. I know that we shot in Pittston on Main Street. There was a police chase right in the middle of us shooting.
Oh, really?
We were just
it wasn't planned? It just happened, you mean?
No, it wasn't planned. We were just wrapping up, and there was a car being pulled over directly across the street from where we were, and the police car was pulling up behind it, and we were just observing, and the cameraman is putting the equipment away, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, go ahead, put the camera back on.
Did you thank them?
Well, by the time he finally got everything backed up, this guy takes off. And I'm like, I can't believe that. That's great production value. We got to get this. So we went and followed him down the street. And I guess he ended up crashing.
Really?
Yeah, he crashed, got out and tried to run. Crashed into another car. Thank God no one was hurt. But there was a family in that car, and he crashed into them. So we got the cameras rolling, and the Newswatch 16, they actually used our footage for that, to cover that story. Yeah.
So now, how about actors? Local actors?
Sure, yeah. We had a great deal of local actors here. We had Jared Tobin, Ava Groves, Joe Dominic, Jody Kane. Oh boy, there's quite a few actors, and I know they're going to get angry with me for not mentioning their name.
Nobody called me. Nobody called me. I've been on television. I've been in plays, magazines, news. I can't get in a movie. Say, and you didn't call me. I remember this.
I put an ad in Craigslist.
Well, I'll give you my card before you leave.
Most definitely.
Where then are we with this film now? I mean, it's not done.
Right now we're in post-production. We are looking to fund our campaign, which is on Indiegogo. We have post-production for editing and sound right now. We've completed everything else. We just need to put the film clips together, do some color correction on it, tweak the audio, add credits and music, of course, to it. And that all happens in post-production.
So that's where we're at now. And you mentioned
Indiegogo.com.
And for the folks at home, what is that?
Well, it's a site that basically encourages, I guess, people with limited means and funds to present their campaign or program or whatever it is that you have to offer to the general public. And you put out perks. You can put out a perk, for example, a signed photo or autograph or something for $5 contribution, then maybe for $20 a DVD. For $50 maybe some kind of behind the scenes type of DVD or something like that, or poster, whatever you can think of to entice people to fund your program. But the money is generally used to fund your program so that you can take it from wherever point it is, mine would be in post-production, to get into a film festival.
Which is our goal.
Which is the goal.
To get that film into a film festival.
Correct.
So if the folks at home were watching, and now they're intrigued by this story that you just told them, and gave them a little hint of what this is all about, and they say, I like this guy, Kevin, and I want to see this film, maybe I can help them out. What do they need to do to help you get the funds needed to finish this film and get it to a film festival?
Well,
They need to go to Indie?
Yes, Indiegogo.com, and just look up Man in the Box, and the link will take you right to our page. There's a video there that'll give you a little bit of details of the film.
Okay.
And then you can look at the perks that are listed there. There's a contribution starting at 10, I believe it's 25, 50, 100, and 200, I believe it goes up to.
Okay, and before the show started, we were talking a little bit about your production company, Dynacore?
Dynacore
Did I
Films.
get that right? Dynacore Films. Okay, do they have a website?
No, but we do have a fan page on Facebook.
Okay, so why don't you tell the folks at home how to get in touch with you that way as well, in case they're not sure what they're doing with Indiegogo. Did I get that? See, I already forgot it. See, but I would go look up Dynacore on Facebook. So tell everybody at home how to find you on Facebook.
Sure.
It's going to materialize right about there, magically, right in front of us. Go ahead.
Okay. If you go to Facebook and look up Dynacore Films, which I'll spell it for you, as Dynacore Films, Films, all one word. If you look us up on Facebook, you'll be directed to the page, and on that page you'll find links to our Indiegogo page and also our Man in the Box page, where you could find out more information about the film.
Well, great. Kevin, I want to thank you
advance.
for coming on the show. It's great to have you. You need to come back when this film is done and tell us where you are with it. All right?
I'd love to. I appreciate you having me here. It's been great.
All right, good. Well, I'm interested in seeing how this film turns out. I bet you are too. And if you want to, help Kevin out. Get in touch with him on Facebook or go to Indiegogo.com.
Indiegogo.com.
Indiegogo.com. And we're going to go right now to a break, but we'll be right back with more Northeast